In the quiet town of Greensburg, Pennsylvania, a horrifying crime unfolded that captured the nation's attention. It was in February of 2010 when the news broke of Jennifer Daugherty, a 30-year-old woman from Mount Pleasant, whose life was marked by her kindness and love for dancing and singing, despite her mental disabilities. But her gentle spirit would tragically lead her into the hands of those who would do her unimaginable harm. Jennifer, known for her trust and openness, met with a group of individuals who, unbeknownst to her, would be the architects of a chilling act of brutality. This group, later referred to infamously as the Greensburg Six, lured Jennifer under the guise of friendship and camaraderie. What followed was a heart-wrenching saga of betrayal, as Jennifer was subjected to severe and relentless cruelty that shocked the community and law enforcement alike. This is the story of Jennifer Daugherty, a life taken too soon in a most brutal fashion. Born in 1979, Jennifer Daugherty was more than just a headline. She was a beloved daughter and friend. Growing up in Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania, Jennifer was known for her infectious enthusiasm and a heart full of kindness. Despite facing the challenges that came with her mental disabilities, she embraced life with a remarkable zest. Jennifer found joy in the simple pleasures of life. She loved to dance and sing, often becoming the life of any gathering. Her laughter was contagious and her spirit uplifting. Those who knew Jennifer spoke of her as someone who saw the good in everyone, a trait that made her deeply cherished in her community. Her life, though punctuated by challenges, was a testament to her resilience and her ability to find happiness in every day. She navigated her world with a grace that belied the difficulties she faced, making her story not just one of tragedy, but also of profound courage and love. Jennifer's vibrant spirit and kindness made her loved by those who knew her, making what happened next even more incomprehensible. The perpetrators, known infamously as the Greensburg Six, each came with their own dark histories. Let's delve into the backgrounds of these individuals, whose lives intertwined in the most tragic of ways. Amber Madinger, often seen as the follower in the group, had a history marred by instability and neglect. Moving next to Melvin Knight, his past was punctuated by violence and encounters with the juvenile justice system, setting a foreboding tone for his later actions. Angela Marinucci, the youngest of the group, displayed a troubling pattern of manipulation and aggression from an early age. Ricky Smyrns, the unofficial leader, brought with him a legacy of abandonment and abuse, which perhaps shaped his coercive and controlling behavior. Peggy Miller's life story was one of addiction and hardship, often finding herself in precarious situations. Lastly, Robert Masters, who struggled with mental health issues, found himself caught up in a web he couldn't escape. Bound by troubled pasts, their paths converged in a way that would lead to a chilling outcome. What began as a seemingly innocent encounter spiraled into a nightmare for Jennifer. Invited by a new acquaintance, Jennifer Daugherty stepped into an apartment in Greensburg, thinking she was meeting friends. It was here that she first encountered the group later known as the Greensburg Six. This meeting, intended to be a simple social visit, would tragically mark the beginning of Jennifer's harrowing ordeal. Initially, the atmosphere seemed friendly. Laughter filled the room, and conversations ebbed and flowed like any casual gathering. Jennifer, with her trusting nature and eagerness to make new friends, was unaware of the undercurrents of tension and malice in the room. As the evening progressed, the dynamics within the group began to shift subtly but ominously. It wasn't long before the situation took a dark turn. What started as jesting and playful banter among the group gradually morphed into sinister taunting directed at Jennifer. The shift was almost imperceptible at first, with teasing that one might brush off as crude humor. However, the tone quickly escalated, becoming more aggressive and personal. Jennifer, confused and uncomfortable, tried to diffuse the situation, laughing nervously, hoping the mood would lighten, but the atmosphere only grew more threatening. As the night wore on, the group's behavior became increasingly coercive and menacing. Jennifer's attempts to leave were subtly thwarted, with each member of the Greensburg Six playing a role in weaving a web of intimidation and control around her. Trapped in a situation spiraling out of control, Jennifer found herself at the mercy of those she believed were her friends. Over the next several hours, Jennifer endured unimaginable horrors that defy comprehension. As the evening wore on, Jennifer Daugherty, a woman known for her kindness and joy for life, found herself caught in a rapidly escalating situation of terror. The individuals she had once considered friends, the so-called Greensburg Six, turned against her in a chilling display of cruelty. Jennifer was subjected to a series of tortures that were not only physical but also deeply psychological. She was forced to endure humiliating acts that sought to strip her of her dignity and humanity. The group, driven by a twisted logic and malicious intent, coerced Jennifer into consuming substances and objects that would be unthinkable under any normal circumstances. The mental and emotional torture was relentless. Jennifer was insulted, belittled, and isolated, breaking down her spirit and sense of self. It was reported that during this ordeal, her captors mocked her disabilities and exploited her inherent trust and goodwill, manipulating her emotions to deepen her anguish. As the investigation later revealed, the motives behind this heinous act were complex and disturbing. Elements of jealousy, power dynamics, and a desire to dominate were uncovered. Ricky Smirns, one of the perpetrators, was said to have harbored secret feelings for Jennifer, which twisted into a perverse justification for his actions. As the sun rose on a grim scene, the quest for justice began. In the chill of a February morning, the discovery of Jennifer Daugherty's body in a trash can, wrapped in Christmas decorations and dumped in a school parking lot, set off a whirlwind of police activity in Greensburg, Pennsylvania. The brutality of the crime scene spoke volumes, and law enforcement knew they were dealing with a case that was as sinister as it was sorrowful. Detectives sprang into action, piecing together Jennifer's last known whereabouts and her connections. It wasn't long before the trail led them to an apartment shared by a group known locally as the Greensburg Six. The apartment, found in disarray, hinted at the chaos and cruelty that had transpired. Forensic teams collected crucial evidence: strands of Jennifer's hair, fibers from the bindings used to restrain her, and hauntingly, handwritten notes that outlined a plan of torment. Interviews with neighbors and acquaintances painted a grim picture of the days leading up to Jennifer's death. Security footage from nearby locations helped to corroborate the timeline, tightening the net around the suspects. Each member of the Greensburg Six was brought in for questioning, their conflicting stories slowly unraveling to reveal a tapestry of manipulation and malice. With meticulous gathering of evidence and detailed interrogation, charges were methodically laid against each member of the group. With the suspects in custody, a grieving community looked for answers and justice. The wheels of law began to turn, promising some measure of peace for the troubled soul of Jennifer Daugherty. In the wake of tragedy, we remember Jennifer not for how she died, but for how she lived. As we reflect on the life of Jennifer Daugherty, it's her vibrant spirit and love for life that continue to resonate deeply within the community and beyond. Jennifer, with her infectious laughter and zeal for dancing, remains a symbol of joy and innocence. Her story, a harrowing reminder of the depths of human cruelty, has spurred a broader conversation about empathy, justice, and the protection of the most vulnerable among us. It's a narrative that challenges us to look deeper into the fabric of our society, to question and to rectify, ensuring that what happened to Jennifer does not recur. Jennifer's ordeal has ignited significant discussions on mental health and the safety of those who, due to their vulnerabilities, might find themselves preyed upon. Her life and the circumstances of her untimely death have become a powerful catalyst for change, inspiring legislative shifts and community initiatives aimed at protecting individuals with disabilities. Moreover, Jennifer's story calls for a more empathetic society. It's a poignant reminder that behind every headline is a human being who lived, loved, and touched lives. It encourages us to foster a community where compassion outweighs malice, where solidarity overcomes isolation. Through the darkness of her final days, Jennifer's resilience emerged as a beacon of strength. Despite the unimaginable fear and pain, her spirit of endurance exemplifies the profound strength of the human will. As we continue to advocate for justice and protective measures, Jennifer's memory serves as an enduring influence. It compels us to extend kindness, to reach out to those in need, and to stand firm against the shadows of injustice and hatred. Jennifer Daugherty's legacy is a call to all of us to foster kindness and stand vigilant against such cruelty. We remember her joy, her resilience, and her spirit,